Hi, I'm Charles with AniCap. Previously, a hero named Zero saved the world, but disappeared to live a normal life as a guy named Lin. After discovering that the leader of the hero organization is involved in horrific human experimentation, Lin forms a team. This team would then go on to defeat the evildoer, but may have paid the ultimate price. The story continues as our team is in the hospital recovering after the battle, and Yang is shocked to find that news reports don't give them any credit for their accomplishment. However, Chen explains that true heroes hide their merits and fame, just like Zero did back in the day. Lin arrives as everyone is surprised to see that he doesn't have a scratch on him. Mano then shows up and explains that everyone has room for improvement after such a tough battle. She contacted the Hero Association and they will be providing them with special training. Everyone is on board with the training, but Lin explains that he is strong enough as it is and doesn't need it. The others are disappointed at his arrogance, but he states that he doesn't need their support since only he can understand the loneliness of the strong. Chao points out how he simply defeated 2 A ranks, and that much stronger people exist in the 8 great families, including S and SS rank heroes. She is certain that Lin isn't strong enough to beat them, but he explains that everyone in the room could attack him at once and they would all lose. His team would never back down from a challenge, so they all head to the rooftop where the battle commences. They attack together, but Lin points out how they are not coordinated. Chao then tries alone, but Lin must apologize when he hits her a bit too hard. The fight rages on as Manu uses her ice ability, but Lin easily stops her. Manu's attack is extremely persistent though, as she manages to trap Lin in her inescapable ice prison, but of course Lin gets out in a powerful way. Lin finishes off the rest of his team, including the fleeing Chen, and tells them to have fun with their special training. The group realize that they can't even see Lin's attacks at all, and Manu reminds them that they need to prepare for their leave. She states that Shishin will be joining them just as Chen remembers that his super weapon isn't finished yet, and asks Fei Wu to go with him. That night, we see that Lin is in trouble with his sister after bringing a dog that he found when picking up Mumu. She refuses to listen to any of Lin's reasoning, but Mumu steps in to help. Lin's sister is determined to not change her mind, but moments later we see her walking the dog. She goes to work, but the doctor there explains that he is busy, and she will be on her own. Inside the building, we see that this doctor is in charge of healing Ouyang Rui, but he explains to the head of the Ouyang family that it's not going so well. The head of the family ends Ouyang Rui's life and explains that his family has no room for trash. He leaves, but is met by a man named Dong Yang, who explains that now is a critical point in their plan, so they must stay focused, and not worry too much about how Manu hurt the family. When the head leaves, Dong Yang explains that he wants production to speed up, but Dr. Qin says that he is understaffed at the moment, and the deadline he was given before was already pushing it. Dong Yang prepared for this though, and introduces Dr. Qin to someone he will be working with named Dr. Musali. Dr. Qin attempts to refuse, but is reminded that he has no choice in the matter. At the Hero Academy, Lin wonders how his team's training went, but they explain that it didn't go so well. Manu tries to get close to him, but Lin has no clue what she is doing and wonders if her brain was damaged in the fight with Ouyang Rui. Just then, Shishin arrives calling Lin teacher and explains that he is doing so because of how Manu acts around him. Lin shuts him down, however, and Shishin reveals that he really wants to learn how to be a true hero. Just then, the new president of the Hero Academy arrives and we see that it is Dong Yang. He makes a quick speech about his plans to restore the Hero Association and everyone becomes excited, but Lin can see something bothering Manu. Backstage, we find that Dong Yang is Manu's brother, as she wonders if he is there to take her back. Dong Yang states that he isn't right now, but will soon. She explains that she has strong friends, but Dong Yang is only angered by this, and explains that no one can help her. Just then, a very upset Lin and the rest of the team arrive. Dong Yang has heard of Lin and how he killed the elite Ouyang Rui and the genetic company by himself. He offers to let Lin continue developing as a part of his family, which the team is amazed to hear, but Lin surprisingly declines. Dong Yang is disappointed to hear that and explains that Lin is only alive now because one of the higher ups decided it. Lin isn't intimidated one bit and tells Dong Yang to kill him, but only if he can do it. Dong Yang is clearly upset as he points out Lin's overconfidence, just as Manu cries out for her brother not to do what he is about to do. It's too late though, as Dong Yang screams the word kneel and everyone falls before him. Lin isn't affected at all by his mind ability though, and explains that it's because the level of Dong Yang's power is too low. This infuriates Dong Yang more, so he pushes his ability further, and we see that everyone in the building is affected. Lin is still the exception and unleashes a force that instantly hurts Dong Yang. Lin is done with the interaction though and helps his team, as Manu questions what her brother is doing. Dongyang explains that he is testing his own strength and doesn't need his sister's consent to do anything. He thinks to himself, however, that he only wanted to use a bit of his strength but ended up using more, and that this time the person he was attacking was just too dangerous. Outside, the team discussed the strange behavior from the new president and realized that things won't be so easy even after defeating Ouyang Rui. Shishin is assigned to ask Manu about the situation, and they state it's because they don't want him around because of his bad luck. Lin then gets a call from his sister, who explains that the dog experiment he wanted done is finished. Just then, Dr. Musali arrives to ask about her progress, and is surprised to find that the dog is able to read postgraduate level notebooks now. He compliments her amazing discovery and leaves, just as a man appears from the bushes to surprise Lin Wan. He explains that she needs to run away as the laboratory she works for is being funded by the Ouyang family, and they have ulterior motives. She understands the danger now, but explains that she can't leave Dr. Qin, and refuses to live life while being afraid of death. She leaves and the man instructs some troops to watch over her, but we see that the dog had been listening to everything. Elsewhere, Lin walks with Chen when he notices someone suspicious nearby, and she tells him where the rest of her group is. Lin handles them all and finds that they were watching the laboratory his sister works at. He realizes that the one who ordered them to do so is a man named Wen Fang, and he is the person who has failed several times to confess his feelings to Lin's sister. Lin is furious as he plans to teach him a lesson, and Wen Fang receives a call revealing that his troops have been defeated. The troops can't remember anything, so Wen Fang assumes that the culprit must have been Dongyang. At the laboratory, Lin gives his sister a necklace with a button on it that she can press in case of emergency. He explains that he will come immediately, which makes her a bit suspicious of him, but she doesn't want him to get involved in the dangerous situation and pushes him away. Lin's sister instructs him to take the dog as she needs to continue working, but Lin surprises Chen by stating that they will be taking it to his house. Elsewhere, Shishan watches Manu in her home and sees that she has a visitor outside. A man emerges from his vehicle and reveals himself to be the youngest member of the Ouyang family named Zihao. He is extremely rude to her, however, and explains that she will be his wife soon. She rejects him and insults his family name, but this only upsets him more. Yatan and his muscle group arrive to defend her, but Zihao explains that she is his fiancée, and Manu doesn't deny it while telling her friends to leave. Yatan's group decides to help her anyway, but the robots Zihao controls prove to be too strong. Zihao forces Manu to watch as her friends are being defeated, so she tries to stop him. Just then, Zihao demonstrates his ability to stop bullets with his bare hands, and sends a bullet back to strike Shishen. Zihao had known about Shishen's presence the entire time, and then shows how he is able to kill his enemies with the wind. The muscle group and Shishen are completely defeated, so Manu agrees to listen to Zihao as long as he stops now. He accepts as Shishen can only beg that she not go, and we see that Zihao lied when a robot appears with orders to eliminate all targets. The robot fires a deadly attack at Shishen, but in that very moment he opens his eyes to find that Lin has rescued him from death. Lin explains that the robots are able to regenerate, but he has the perfect weapon to deal with them. The robots stand no chance against Lin, and we see that Zihao is panicking as he overhears that his robots are being defeated. He is told that it is a person with extraordinary ability and sees that it's Lin with the Fire Spirit Sword. Manu wonders why Lin has come as Dongyang explains that he will use her to solve his current problem. Back at her house, Lin is furious to hear that the Ouyang family is once again causing problems and has thoughts of attacking their family house directly. He stops though when he is reminded that they need to help the wounded, and then promises to get revenge for Shishen while saving Manu. Back at their base, the team discusses their intention to go after the Ouyang family, but Yanking explains that they are one of the most powerful families in the city. They also have robots that are very strong, so he wonders if they will be able to survive an attack with just the three of them. Lin clearly isn't afraid, and Chen explains that heroes never submit to forces of evil. An old acquaintance arrives to join the team as they need all the help they can get, and we see that Fei Wu has mapped out the Ouyang family's house. She reveals that Zihao and Manu will be having an engagement ceremony the next day. Furthermore, there are several people furious at Manu for defeating Ouyang Rui, but the Ouyang family will protect their safety before their marriage to keep a good reputation. After the marriage will be a different story. Lin is furious to see Manu being used, and the team tries to calm him down, but he points out how him still being in the room with them is proof that he is calm enough. Chen states that everyone knows how strong Lin is, but if they go in without a plan, then others may suffer because of them. Their friend is a pop star and uses his fans to create a distraction so the others can move in. Fei-Wu does her part by shutting down the defense system, and the trio climb over the wall. Inside, Chao wonders if Manu really wants to go through with the marriage, and Manu explains that she can't do anything since it's a family decision. Chao is taken away by her date, and Zihao takes the opportunity to question Manu about who Lin is. She doesn't say anything, and he explains how incredible the sword Lin carries is. Zihao explains that he initially wanted to make a deal with Lin, but he suspects that they have come on their own. He now plans to kill him and his teammates, as Manu hopes that Lin doesn't do anything crazy. We then see that the team has jumped over the wall as Lin shows how he disguised himself and his weapon. Just then, Chao appears with her date, and Yanqing stays behind to explain to her his concerns about her dating handsome men. Lin and Chen then seem to find the room where Manu is being kept, and Lin prepares to take out the guards. Chen explains that he would like to be the real hero this time and fights them himself. Manu is startled when Lin enters the room, but he calms her down and attempts to take her away. She refuses though and states that she must stay as she made a promise to her family to never cause trouble again. Manu points out how serious she is, but Lin is serious as well and refuses to let her go through with the marriage. Lin points out how doing so would only waste the sacrifice made by Yatan and Qishen, but she points out how that is exactly why she is going through with the marriage. She is sacrificing herself so the powerful Ouyang family will stop hurting people. Lin asks that Manu trust him and states that no one else will have to sacrifice anything. He creates an exit for them as he asks once more that Manu come with him, and she finally agrees. Thanks for watching part 3, 4,000 likes and I'll make a part 4.